when most young people receive their first income or when they receive their first salary, they get so much excited. They don't know how to spend the money and they unknowingly get to make some financial mistakes. I was 21 years old when I got my first salary of 20,000 Kenya shillings. I was so excited. I didn't know how to spend money, and I actually made these 5 financial mistakes which really costed me a lot. And that's why I want us to discuss in this video these 5 financial mistakes so that you can be able to learn from them. If you are new here, my name is Jane Dishu and I'm a financial advisor. The first financial mistake was not having a budget. Guys, I was working as an accountant. I had done my CPA 4. I knew like a person should have a budget. I knew like if you want to spend money, you need a budget. But literally, let me tell you, just learning from the books and doing the experiment, they are two different things. So I knew there was a budget. I knew that you're supposed to have a budget, but I didn't not have it. So guys, what I used to do when I received my income, and I know most of you will relate to this, I had a notebook. I have always loved to write down, like it's something I have always loved to do. So I would just spend. So the moment I pay my rent, I'd go to my notebook, write down that rent. I have paid 4,500 Kenya shillings. I would go to the supermarket and spend maybe like 1,500 for shopping. So I would just come right after I have spent. So it was not like before. I did not do a projection, and then I would be done with my budget when I have exhausted all the money. So the financial mistake is that was not actually a budget. It was like a list of trying to convince myself or tell myself that I budgeted. The actual budget is where, guys, you're supposed to have like a plan before you receive your income. So what I know right now is if I knew I was receiving an income of 20,000 Kenya shillings, I will have written down like my rent will be this amount of money. This is the amount of money I'll spend on shopping. This is the amount. And guys, I did not even used to pay transport. Like, and I'm just that child who have enjoyed the luxury of not having the black tax. So guys, I did not have like so much I was doing. Then if I was using a good budget, believe you me, I would be able to even save more than 50% of my income. But because I did not have that and I was being guided by my own money, Manu was telling me where to go to and I would stop spending it when it was done. But now what I do, I tell money what to do for me. So I never stop. It's not like the money stopped me to do things. I stop the money. I tell this money, no, I cannot spend you. You have to go to this and this and this thing. So I made that mistake and it really came like it's something that I learned. I stayed for some time before I even came to just sit down with myself and tell myself, you know what, Jane, you need to unlearn. You need to unlearn what you know budgeting is and sit down and have a good structure. So guys, avoid this mistake as early as now. Do not, and I repeat, do not write down a budget after you have spent. Do it before you have received your income. And our first mistake led to this next mistake. So I did not save and I was not investing to my maximum potential. Guys, I have told you I did not have bills. Like I did not have much I was doing. Like I enjoyed the whole luxury. It's not like what I'm experiencing right now. So guys, I used to save like the bare minimum. So since I was in the finance like department and I was an accountant, I definitely had a small knowledge about maybe the financial aspect. Since I was an accountant, I'd done a BA in finance, so I had the knowledge. I knew some of these things. I knew like a person should save and they should invest. But basically, I did not like do the research, the financial literacy where I know like this is the reason why I'm saving. This is the reason why I invested. So I really did the bare minimum. So I had a saving account where I used to put my money in a bank. Like you guys don't come to me, but as an accountant, then I was not like a financial advisor. As an accountant, I did not know about the money market fund. I used to hear about it, but you guys, I didn't like have the exposure. And one of the things that I really appreciate, someone who was my friend, they came to me and they told me, Jane, there's this person who was working with an insurance company, and I got to get like an endowment policy. If I did not get that endowment policy, guys, I cannot tell you like what I would have done with that money. Like I don't even have a tangible evidence of the time that I stayed for that company or for the time that I served in that company. And believe you me, guys, like after my internship, which was 3 months, my salary just grew from 20,000 to 45,000. Like I was earning 45,000. So it was like a good amount of money to start with. But I did not have this financial knowledge, which is like one of the mistakes that I made. So I did not like do the maximum. I used to do the minimum. Even when I was given the opportunity of opening that endowment saving plan, I actually said I want the bare minimum, and I started saving around 3,000. But knowing what I know right now, I would be able to save a lot more, and I would have been able to save, like, even I have said I would be able even to save more than even 50% of my money. So also another thing, the reason why I did the bare minimum in the savings and investment, I did not have a particular goal. Guys, I didn't know, like I didn't even have an idea of what should money do for me. Like, what do I want? Do I want a car? Do I want a land? Do I want I was basically didn't have that money mindset. I basically didn't know like I can be able to achieve this thing. And because I was young, I just felt like things would just fall in place. The time I wanted to buy a car, I would just have money from heaven and I'll buy a car. I just basically knew I'll be rich. I will have money. By the time I get to 30, I'll have a lot of money. Like, not even 30. I knew like even the next birthday, I will even be driving. But I didn't have a plan. I didn't know how people save onto it. Fast forward right now, looking back to my younger self, one of the things that I know is, yes, you can dream, you can have the dreams, you can just have the anticipation of, before I turn next year I want this and this and this. You can dream and have all the dreams, but your dreams will just be dreams and they will remain in bed if you don't have a plan. And this is why you tag your savings and investment to whatever you want your money to do for you, guys. Like, you just basically have, I want a car, that's why I'm opening a money market fund to put in this amount of money to buy me a car. I have maybe for my emergencies. This is why I'm opening a money market fund to give me this. I have an endowment plan because I want to own a home. I don't want to do the mortgage way. Basically tagging your financial goals to your savings and investments, so that you can explain like how much amount of money have you been able to save. Then if you ask me like how much do you have in your bank or in your savings, I will just go back and tell you, let me check on my mobile banking and check how much I have right now. If you ask me the amount of money I have in my bank, in my circle, everywhere, I know, because I do audits. I know like this amount of money I needed to get here, so I always track every month. I always track my savings and investment because I already know like what is the price at the end of the day, and I know why I need to stick on it. And this brings us to our third financial mistake, which was living a fake life. Guys, I know I didn't even have an idea there's something called living beyond your mean. Like, I didn't even know. Basically, with 20,000, there's like a lifestyle that you're supposed to have, an amount of money that you pay for rent, an amount of money that goes to the entertainment. Guys, the basic is, I was just blank because I don't even have a track, I don't have a budget. I don't have something that is guiding me. So guys, it got to a point now that someone who is earning 20,000, they're living a lifestyle of someone who is earning 50,000, because I'm basically not saving, I'm basically not investing, and the money is there. So why not? Let me tell you guys, even then, and I'm talking of, if like a long period of time, that is like over 8 years ago. Like, you guys, even then I had a very quality phone. I was waiting for the new release of a Samsung phone. Like, I want to buy this. Like, I used to own the best phone in my squad. They can attest to that. So I was living a lifestyle that I couldn't, like, if I was doing the budgeting, or if I was doing the savings and investment, or if I was consulting a financial advisor, I would basically know that this is not the lifestyle you're supposed to be living. And because I was not saving and investing, guys, guess what? So I'm getting this fake life. Like, I was living in a standard where I was feeling like nimefika. I can go a vacation even twice. I can just be grouping with anyone. I can just be taking, I was not even cooking. Like, I didn't know the limits. I didn't know what to do. Right now is when I look back and I can say like, that was actually living beyond your means, because you basically was not saving. You basically was not investing. You didn't even have a plan of anything. And guys, looking back right now, I know that if I'm earning this amount of money, like 20,000, even what grew to like 45,000 after my internship, like, I right now know, like, if you are earning 45,000, this is the amount of money that I need to pay for my rent. This is the amount of money that needs to go to my savings and investment. I cannot like do this. I cannot get into this chama or this. Like, I just basically know that this is the lifestyle that I'm living with that income. And if it grows from 45,000, I know like how much I need. Like with 90,000, 100,000, I know the lifestyle that I need to stay. So I basically right now understand that with this amount of money, I cannot be able to afford to live this amount of money. This really came because fake it until you make it. Like, there's that analogy of thinking that if you live in the future lifestyle, if you buy the luxury, if you're living in that life that you are thinking in your head that nimefika, like I'm there already, like you will just get there. Like the Delulu is the Solulu, guys. And I know most of you feel the pinch. You really know that with 50,000, you're not supposed to be living this lifestyle. You're not supposed to be doing this and this and this, but you sacrifice your savings and investment in place of spending and living that fake life, and you're living beyond your mean. Even if you guys talk about it, but if you're not saving and investing, if you're not able to do the basics, the budget, like you're not able to do this goes to my rent, this goes to this goes to this. If you don't have a limit, most probably you'll not be able to make it in life, and you might not be unknowingly, you might not be able to know that you're making some financial mistake. This got us now to our fourth financial mistake, guys: the bad debts. When I tell you guys, I have been in that. Like, I know, I basically know. And let me tell you, I think I have been having a culture of having disposable income. Like, you just have disposable income. Let me give you a backstory. When I was in school, I used to see people apply for help, guys, and I know help is good because some people need it. But I got to this particular group of people who, you knew your parents would afford the school fees, but because the rent is there, you want to just have the luxuries, like you want to rent out, you want to live this lifestyle. And guys, I got to that and I got to help. I borrowed. And from then, I didn't like have a problem with even borrowing. So when I was earning, I didn't get into bad debt. But now the problem hit when I lost my job. So in the accountancy, after some time, we lost our jobs because the company was owned, was a consolidation, and it was owned by foreigners. So they said that they want to like to move the company to now in Europe. And at some point we lost our jobs because I was in the accounts department, and they said they are not going to carry us with them, so they wanted to just have their Dutch people operate the accounts as the accountants. So we lost our jobs. So guys, remember, I don't have the savings. Remember, I don't have any investments. Only that amount of money. Like, I remember I only had like I had saved like around 50,000. I felt like saving 50,000 was a lot of money because sinikona 50,000 kwa account. And guys, kiriniramba, because already my mind was used to spending. I had a lifestyle. I also had like these friends. So you were used to just a certain lifestyle where you feel like wezi like wezi shuka, you just have to maintain it at that particular point. So I really got myself to a point where I'm borrowing to pay my rent because I believe I'm not going below a 1 bedroom, because how do people sleep in the same room with a kitchen? Like, you guys, I develop even an attitude, a pride, because already like I was living this cafe life, and I already felt like mimi nimeomoka, like I have the money. So it was already in me. So even when I lost that job and now it was time to job hunt again, I was like so proud to a point I couldn't like shuka kidogo and just use my 50,000 to restructure and do other things. Like, I just knew like I will spend the 50,000, and then we were having the Fuliza, the branch. No, not the Fuliza. We had the Tala, and we had also the branch. So those were the mobile lending app, and we also had like the bank KCB and Pesa loans. They were there. So they used to give you limits. And remember, I was saving in the bank, so they gave me a loan, and then I got a branch, and I knew if you pay, you borrow. Like, it was something that got into me. It was something that got into me unknowingly. You just don't know that you're getting into bad debt. You just don't know that you're getting too addicted to a lifestyle that you cannot maintain, and you cannot like go down before that. And by the time I was realizing that, I was in a very bad financial mess. And guys, let me tell you, something that is very painful is when you are paying off debts of things that you just spend on your expenses. When you're paying debts that you spend on your investments, like maybe you started a business, it's thriving, or maybe you invested that amount of money somewhere, or you did something meaningful, it's not that painful. But guys, let me tell you, the process of paying those bad debts, knowing so well that they only paid my rent, or they gave me my food, or they just gave me, I went out, I did these things, because I had this lifestyle in mind. It was so painful. It's not something I would want anyone to go through. But if you're already there, believe you me, you can just have a plan. You can just be able to get like a concept of how you can be able to get out of these debts. And I have a whole video, guys, detailed video of how you can be able to step by step get out of these bad debts, and you can be able to work to be debt free. And the last financial mistake that I really got into was overgiving. Guys, let me tell you, the moment you set out a certain picture to your friends, to your family, and to people around you, even your colleagues, it is so hard to tell them, no, I cannot afford. It's so hard to tell them, now, I cannot be able like to contribute to that, like chama, or maybe like you guys, I was in a chama where we were giving like around 5,000, and then you're jobless, you cannot be able to raise that amount of money, but you cannot even, because you want to be in that social circle, you just stick around. Even if you have to borrow, even if I have to borrow in the mobile loans, and then just pay the chama and then wait for my turn, like that cycle of you don't know how to say no. Like, it was something that I really struggled with. I was a people pleaser. I just felt like I belong. The power of belonging is what they know about me. I didn't want them to know that I am in a financial crisis. I need to work on my debt situation, and I need to do this and this and this. And guys, it was so tough for me. Like, this is something that I really had to work for years. Like, to work for years. And at some point, the art of even learning and learning the art of, if someone does not understand that I'm in a financial crisis, I cannot be able maybe to afford to give them a gift on their wedding, on their anniversary, on their birthday, on their baby shower, and still they get mad at you, and they tell you are a fake friend, and they don't see maybe the emotional support you give them. I came now to a conclusion, and to know that those were the fake people. I'm not the fake person. Like, I used to point out at myself, like I would go in. I remember there's a photo shoot we did with a friend. Like, I didn't have the money. I didn't even have the money to buy even a new pair of shoe or even the outfit. Guys, I have a photo of that shoot. I struggled to even pay. Like, I remember I struggled, and I even had to wear some clothes which I bought. Like, you just go in to even borrow your parents' money so that you can just please a person for their shoot, which you don't even enjoy, because you cannot be able to say no. And at this particular point, it became now so hard to even like love yourself more, because it's more of what are other people saying. And in the financial world, if you don't have the word no in your vocabulary, you might not be able to make the best financial decisions, because people will always have problems which they want to project to you. And if you don't give them the limit, it's like if you are in a mobile loan and they're giving you a loan, and then one day they give you a loan of 1,000, and then maybe you pay the 1,000, and they skip from 1,000 to 1 million. Believe you me, you are borrowing that 1 million. You are going to convince yourself you need the 1 million, because you don't know the limits. That's why these mobile loans or the other institutions, everyone have to have a limit. So even in the financial world, you need to have a limit. You need to know when to say no, I cannot be able to afford. You need when to say no, this is above my budget. I didn't know those terms, and now growing in with these problems, dealing with everything that I dealt with, guys, I was able to learn those things and to know that they are very important in your financial freedom journey. And if anyone feels that they don't love you, they don't like you, they don't respect you anymore, because you are not able to maybe to commit to a certain financial obligation, because you are not in a position to, for me, they are fake friends. They're the fake ones. I'm not the fake one. And these have saved me a lot of explaining to do. Right now, even if I'm not financially doing well, I don't mind even using a matatu. I don't mind if you guys see me with the same dress in 2 occasions. zikifuatana, it's my dress, it's just a confirmation, it's my dress. Like, I have affirmed it to myself that I don't have to push my budget so much to please another person. It's always about me. How am I don't want to get to the same mess that I was in, so I have to protect it. I have to make sure that I work on it, and that means I have to communicate. This trickles down even to those people who are financially obligated. If I commit to be helping you financially, and I tell you I can only afford to give you 1,000, I'm not giving you 1,500, sweetie. I'm not. Like, I'm not. You better say I did not come through for you. I'm mean, I'm not good, and everything you want to say, but that is the much I could be able to commit. And this have been able to help me become a person who is grateful, to appreciate the small things I even get from people, to live with people better, because I know they have sacrificed a lot to give you maybe even that 10,000. And even if they were not able to give me the financial support, they were there maybe emotionally, they communicated. To me, let me tell you, I really thrive so well. And I really love people who can communicate their struggles. People who can say, no, this is not within my budget. No, I'm not able to do this. No, I'm going through this and this and this. I can, like, basically the no in the financial world. I know this is something, mostly for those people who struggle with black tax. You guys, I have told you I did not struggle with black tax, but most of my clients who we sit down with who struggle with black tax, it trickles down to them saying yes to everything. And this is why they find themselves in the financial constraint, in the financial mess. And someone cannot be able to tell other people, like, I don't have to do this. And even I have like seen situation where, because your whole squad have bought a car, you're going ahead to buy a car which you cannot even afford, which you cannot even be able to raise money for. Like, I have seen people go to extremes where even they cannot afford maybe to fuel their cars. They cannot just park it because they have a financial situation. Like, you just go to extreme of pleasing other people. It's not about you. You don't have a problem. You don't have a problem even not having a car for the next 5 years because you cannot afford it. You will work toward it for the next 5 years and afford it. But because other people are looking at you, you get the pressure and you feel it's not okay. And if it doesn't start with you, what you want? I always ask myself this question first before I spend or make any financial move or even give any financial support. I always ask myself, am I in a position to? Two, how am I going to feel after this? Is it going to give me maybe pressure? Am I going to have problems after this? Like, if I help someone and then after that I have to think of, yes, I help someone and then now I'm struggling to feed myself. I'm struggling to do this and this. How will I even feel? Like, even from the generosity part of it, do you become a better human when you have like given everything out and now you're here remaining suffering? Like, that is not the whole gospel. It's, you love other people like you love yourself. So you have to love yourself first so that you can understand how to love other people. So something about financial literacy that you need, no one will tell you, is the no. It's the no, guys. Know the limits and know when to say no. And guys, remember, in case you're having this financial or you're making these financial mistakes now or even before, and even if you're past your youth, even if you're not in your 20s, you're in your 30s, even in your 50s, and you're making this financial mistake, don't beat yourself. That's the first thing. To acknowledge there's a mistake and you need to work on it. And take time. Take time. Take time. You don't owe anyone an explanation. It's all about you. And believe you me, the small steps that you're taking right now, they're going to make a lot of difference when it comes to your financial knowledge or your financial freedom journey. So stick into it. And in case you would want professional help on any of this, I would really like to help you. So kindly make sure that you follow me on my Instagram. The link is on the description below so that you can be able to book an appointment with me and we can be able to have a plan for you, or we can be able to sort whatever problem you might be having. And until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching.